Hey there, welcome back to Empower with Nancy. I'm so glad you're here because today's episode is so super important. So, whether you're running a business, leading a team, or making moves in your career, how do you make those big, scary business decisions without spiraling into a second guessing yourself afterwards, where you're constantly thinking, am I making the right decision? Should I do this? So even if you're ever made a decision and then really laid up wait late at night thinking, did I do the right thing? Should I have chosen it differently? I've been there so many times, more times than I can count, especially being my own CEO of my business. You don't have to live in the space of doubt because you get to control that. And so today, I'm giving you a real simple process to really help you make strong, clear decisions and actually trust yourself afterwards, feeling good that you've made the right decision. Because let's face it, second guessing doesn't usually happen because we don't know what we want. It really happens because we start to what? Constantly overthinking everything. And then it sucks the life out of us because you're constantly battling with yourself of, if I make this decision and I fail, what happens? Everyone's going to look at me differently. And then how do I get out of this mess of the decision that I kept overthinking? We get scared of messing up all the time. We worry about what people will say. We want someone else to tell you, yep, you're doing it right, sweetie, or yep, you're doing it right, getting that validation. Why do we have to constantly get validations when we want to make a big decision? Because what happens is you're going to ask 5 different people, and the one that gives you the no, you shouldn't, that's the one that you're focusing on receiving. And then you're going to go with that decision. But maybe the 4 other people said, you know what, I think it's a great decision. But that one said no. And then what happens? You don't do it. And when fear is self doubt, we're fearing a failure, the self doubt. And then we start to people please out loud to ourselves. It's like being stuck in damn quicksand. It doesn't feel good because the longer you sit in indecision, the harder it is to move forward. It's harder to make that decision. So here is something that I've learned. And let me tell you, I've learned the hard way. The biggest killer of success isn't making the wrong decision. You know what it is? It's not making a decision at all, period. And how does that feel when you don't make a decision? We lose confidence, we lose the momentum, and eventually we lose the opportunity altogether. And then what do? So, how do we make these big decisions without looking back? It really is a vicious cycle. And the simple framework I use and teach my clients is to make decisions without looking back. Get clear of what matters most in your decision. Before you get stuck in opinions, I want you to ask yourself, what's the most important thing here? Is it maybe growth? Is it alignment with your values? Is it something that you just want to hurry up and get done? Is it speed? What is it? What is aligned with your decision and what matters? If you don't know what matters most, every choice will feel equally right. And then it will feel equally wrong. So, how do we cut down the opinions? More opinions equals what? more overwhelm, more anxiety, more fear, more worry. And why do you want to put yourself through that? Limit yourself to 2 or 3 real choices. So, and the reason why I say that is this keeps you out of the overthinking mental spin cycle that's constantly going through your head. Can't sleep at night, trying to get validation, worrying about making the wrong decision. How about we flip that and feel empowered in the decisions that you make within your business or just decisions in general? Set decision deadlines for ourselves. When you don't set a deadline, it drags on. Give yourself some time to think about the decision before rushing into it. I always like to do like 24, 48 hours. 48 hours the most on a simplest decision, but if it's a real big decision, maybe think about that for a little bit longer, 72 hours or so. But letting the decision drag on and on and on, that's where the fear starts to really take over. And how about let's get real with your decisions, not trying to get validation from everyone to help you make that decision. So talk to 1 or 2 trusted people, a coach, a mentor, a business advisor. Maybe it's your significant other. Maybe it's a friend that is very successful in a business or owns a business that can give you some advice. Not taking a poll of everyone that you know, and ask people who get your vision, who understand where you're coming from, that are not afraid to tell you the truth without projecting their fears onto you. So decide and don't look back. This is the thing. Sometimes when we are worried about making a decision and we make that decision, you constantly think back. Should I, would I, could I? Like, why did I make that decision? You start playing these fiction stories in your head of why you shouldn't have, or talking yourself out of it. So once you make the call, make the decision, I want you to shut the door behind you. Stop looking in a rearview mirror, shut the door, move on, no second guessing, move forward like it's the only option that you have. Because the minute you start doubting yourself, it's slowly taking over and it will slowly bring you down. So, what if the doubts constantly creep in over time? And I want you to be honest with yourself, because sometimes, even after you make a decision, the little voice in our heads whisper, but what if it is the wrong decision? You understand what I'm trying to say here? Is like, make a decision confidently that you've made the right decision, that it is going to go in the right direction. And here's what I want to remind you. And I always remind my clients of this. It's not the outcome that defines a good decision. It's the process you use to make it. And if you made the best decision that you could with the information that you had at the time you made it, you didn't fail. You led with confidence. And if it doesn't turn out perfectly, then you pivot, you make adjustments, and then you lead again. You don't give up, you don't throw your hands up, because strong leaders aren't the ones who get it right 100% of the time. They're the ones who trust themselves to keep moving no matter what. I really want to leave you with this. Make a challenge or a decision today. Think about one big decision that you've really been sitting on and worried about making the decision. And maybe it's something that you maybe have a big project, maybe it's a big hire, maybe it's some type of marketing big decision or an investment. Maybe it's walking away from something that's no longer aligned with you. Use this framework. Make the call. Lock the door behind you and don't waste your energy looking over your shoulder, worrying about if you made the right decision. Because the truth is, When you trust yourself, you can do anything. You build the motivation, the momentum, the confidence. You feel so empowered and fulfilled. I hope this resonated with you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I know that this episode is a little bit shorter than most, but it's something that's been really weighing heavy on me because I've had to make some really tough decisions recently as well. And I've made recent decisions not too long ago where I thought it was the right thing. And turned out we just had to pivot a few things in order to make it right. So if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs that extra push, that extra advice. And as always, own your power, change your life because you have control of the will. Talk to you soon in the next episode. With gratitude, Nancy.